Greetings and welcome to the energy of Aquarius. This is a reading for January 2024 for the energy of Aquarius. We'll be reading for the ascendant in Aquarius, and this can apply to any placement or planet. Usually in Vedic studies, the houses away from the house of the house, or the Bhavat Bhavam, is telling for a lot of the aspects that are being sort of accentuated, and the lessons come especially from the dispositor that occurs within that house, and that sign's dispositor, the main ruler of that sign. So we're looking at the scientific energy of Aquarius. We'll be looking at Saturn and Uranus and what those two planets are doing for the month of January. This particular transit chart is on the 16th of January at 7:32 a.m. At an unknown, undisclosed location. So, firstly, would like to say that this is a very deeply spiritually ascendant, higher vibration month for the energy of Aquarius. Okay. There's a deep spirituality with your 12th house being accentuated in the Sun in Capricorn, as well as Pluto in Capricorn. When the Sun and Pluto are in very close degree, it's about 4.5 degrees here, perhaps even a little bit more. There is a strong accenting of what can be seen in terms of hidden actions coming to light, okay? Especially when it comes to spiritual crisis, defining yourself through a spiritual crisis of some sort. You're going to find that the social atmosphere for the month of January, as the Sun transits in Capricorn, the very last degrees of Capricorn, and they move towards your the culmination of Aquarius. There is your 12th house activation, okay? And this helps to bring some harmonious aspecting with the second house, okay? Especially with Neptune in Pisces and the Moon in Aries, okay, in the second house. What this points to is a path that is exhibited by the Fool, that is Aryan energy, as well as the later degrees of Pisces, okay? And this brings forward essentially a spiritual reality for Aquarians out there. Now, this is going to come with its own set of responsibilities, with Mercury going direct in December. And moving into January, Mercury's going to be in Capricorn. There's a stellium in Capricorn, including Mars. Okay, that's in your 11th house. Now, this helps you sort of stabilize in your dreams, your aspirations of the self. It helps you to also solidify something in terms of your creative capacities, which are being highly accentuated in the first house. Saturn in Pisces, okay? And there's a challenge, but then there also is some positive things coming from your friends, from siblings, perhaps an older sibling, or gifts when it comes to the season of gift giving. And it allows you to reflect upon the common goals of this world, okay? The actions of this world that are designed to provide stability for kind of like the dream world or the common good in some respect. Now, with an activation of the 11th, 12th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, there is an ending that comes to a new beginning. And what I see here is a great deal of energy that allows for the culmination, okay, of very solid friendships that will put you on the right path, communities that will put you on the right path, your neighborhood, your most immediate environment, things that help you stabilize the self, will put you on the right path, okay? I rather like this energy. There is not much to do with the other, um, not much to do in terms of work other than spiritual work that is intended to be grounded. So like your daily rituals, your work, how you treat your money, how you relate this to your most immediate friends and relatives will be quite relevant, especially in how you give back to the community in some sort of way. But it's a type of community where the bridging between your most immediate community and then the spiritual community, that is the grid that is out there in the quantum realm, will there will be a bridging that occurs between those two. Okay, challenges when it comes to that, challenges of how to value or reside or to be content with a reality that seems more creative or a reality that seems more abstract, that is hard to ground. Okay, with Mercury and Mars calling in karmas on a collective level, and with Venus also there in Sagittarius. Venus is not very happy right now in Sagittarius in your 11th. There's something about far-reaching goals and ambitions when it comes to your resources, as well as the possibility for situations or love relationships. All of that is too far-fetched or too distant for there to be any sort of reality, some sort of real base in which you can emotionally identify with those relationships or the way of thinking. With Mercury and Capricorn, there's a very grounded, practical approach towards communications on the whole. And usually you have to be careful with Mercury and Capricorn because what is transacted in terms of the mind in the psychic sense, and also in terms of your actions with the hands, where you place your hands, where you place your resources and all of that, it has to benefit a common good. And if it doesn't, then it's going to pose challenges to structuring your reality. And with all this water energy in your second, and then it moves into, excuse me, Aries energy, it becomes difficult to really find the spiritual tie from the material realm and the spiritual realm. So those bridges are going to exist, but they're going to be hard to locate. And you have to stop thinking logically about the common good. You have to think of it more as like an emotionally resonant thing as opposed to something else, because the common leads to the infinite, the commonwealth. And there's something about the bridge there that is being challenged, but I see nothing but good when it comes to reaching out to certain friends that have common goals and aspirations, in which they may try to contact you or parlay with you in terms of a logical way to approach their goals or their ambitions. You can help them with this. You can be the anchor for them in some sort of way. Now, your key rulers for this month, Saturn is directly on the ascendant, meaning that there are limitations to health. There's a very strong, stable foundation in health, your self-health as well as your emotional body health. All of that should be well aspected. You have to look to your most immediate communities, your family, as well as your siblings, excuse me, in order to maintain this idea of health as wealth. With Saturn being there in Pisces, on your ascendant, essentially in your first house, it could also be your second house. There is a very stabilizing energy that allows you to be more sympathetic or empathetic with others. Okay. And that's in the first house. Uranus, the co-ruler of Aquarius, is in your third and fourth house, and it's providing you a benefic aspect here that has to do with the solar energy of Capricorn. Okay, now when the solar energy is in Capricorn, the pranic force of the sun, at least from a mystical standpoint, it acts as a web of light for others, and it's very binding because it is inevitable. And with the sun kind of aspecting the moon as well as Neptune in Pisces and your second house. Okay, there's a lot that has to do with essentially meeting friends or bringing light to the shadow of friends, coming up with a psychological understanding of their motivations, of their karmas. Okay. There also is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's something about the link between the 3rd and the 11th houses. This has to do with the triplicity of air. It has to do with kama, okay, desire, the desires of others, your own desires, how these desires are reflective of a common ground. Is going to come to light this month. Okay, the very best I can do for you. No tarot for you this month. I'll see you next month. Bye bye.